Hi guys, Mindy Browse here with the Integrated Co-op. This is a teacher video for Level Up, Year 1, Week 17. All right, this week you're finishing Black Ships Before Troy. So again, make sure you go over what they learned about history, what aspects of this story have they heard whispers of before. Share with them the significance of this story. And then go over their predictions that they made in the past, whose predictions came true, whose didn't, and do they think the story ended well? Do they like how it ended? Would they choose an alternate ending? You can do all sorts of really great literature-loaded fun with that. And then for your hands-on activity, you're going to have this handout of the Trojan horse, and we're going to integrate math a little bit into this. So we're going to say, okay, guys, so how tall do we think it was? And let's base that on how tall we think men were and how many they could fit in. So let's say a man is 6 foot, and they'll draw a little guy here and put 6 foot. And then be like, okay, well, let's say, do you think we want to design it to where 2 men, like we have 2 levels of men? How tall would that be? And then they can write that design. So it would be a little over 12 feet to give room for the wood and stuff like that. All right. So, or you can just estimate, just round it off at 12 feet. And then, okay, well, how wide do we think it was? Let's just, and just remind them, this is just for fun. This is just your class having fun with it. All right. Let's say we think it's 10. Oh, we probably wouldn't be the same as it is tall. Oh, close. All right. So basically make your dimensions and then start figuring out how many men could we fit. They're side by side, 6 feet. Like after you figure out how long you think it was. 6 feet tall, 2 levels. How wide is a man? Let's guess. And just have fun trying to guess how many men would fit in your design for a Trojan horse. Okay. And then of course just make sure you discuss how most educated Americans, Westerners, know what the Trojan horse was. All right, great. Grammar and composition, stay on track with those plans. Make sure you're referring to the resources if you need help or guidance, and just make it fun. The key is we want to make things fun. All right, so today's week 17's math tips and tricks is a 15% trick using sales tax. So most places for restaurants, we're saying, because we're working on a tip, or let's say a hairdresser, and you can discuss where do we tip and where do you think is good to tip. Let's say sales taxes typically are between 7 and 8.5%. So just to show them, okay, well, if a tip is 8% on your receipt that you get back, the tax, if the sales tax is 8%, and you have it figured out right there, it's on your receipt. If you double that, what percent is that? 16. 16% is a decent tip. It's kind of near the bottom of the minimum. And you can say, if you just double your sales tax, you've got 16%. If you want to go a little higher, let's say you want to give them a little bit higher tip, then you know where you're starting from and you can just round up. All right. As usual, teach that on the board 3 times, and then have 3 times at least where they do it as individuals during class to help practice that. And then have fun with your math games. All right, thanks. That's week 17.